Hello everyone. In this video, you're going to learn about looping concept. So what is looping in programming concept? The flow of statement getting executed repeatedly until a specific condition is met or true. So doing this, executing the same set of statements again and again when a specific condition is true is called looping. So there are three types of loop statements. Is common in all programming languages like C++, Java, Python. If you take any language, any general purpose programming language, there are three types of loop statements for that. While, do while, and for. So we'll see one by one. We'll start with while. So while is the keyword that you will use in the while statement. While inside the parenthesis, you will specify the conditions. I told you when the condition is true. So what is the condition? You will specify the condition here. When this condition is true, execute this set of statement which is given inside this curly brace. So this is the syntax for using while statement in JavaScript. While is the keyword, and inside the parenthesis give the condition, and when this condition is true, execute this statement. It's called while statement. So here, when each time the same statement is getting executed repeatedly, each time each repetition is specified with the term iteration. So each iteration is specific. The number of times it is getting repeated. The repetition is termed used by the term iteration. How many iterations? If this statement is getting executed for 4 times, the number of iteration is going to be 4. Okay, so how the condition is how we are going to specify the counter. So we'll first explain the syntax, the example, then I'll tell you how you can change this counter. Look at this example where you have the variable count. And here the condition is when the count is less than or equal to 5. This is the condition. When this condition is true, until this condition is true, you can just print this number, the count value inside this. But if you're not changing the count value, it will not change, right? It will be static. So in all looping statements, there should be a counter that will change this iteration, make the change in the iteration. Okay. So here the count is initialized with the value 1, and the condition is less than or equal to 5. And this one will change that iteration, right? This is called counter. A variable incremented or decremented with each loop statement, with each iteration is called counter. So the counter can have any kind of mathematical operation. Here it is plus means incrementation. Each time the statement is getting executed, each time the value of count is going to get incremented to 1. So let me execute it in JavaScript console. Variable is initialized with 1 and condition is less than or equal to 5. And each time the count value is getting printed and the count value will be incremented. So if I execute it, you can see what is happening here. Document.write count. Initially the count value is 1. So in the first iteration, 1 will get printed. And then count value will get incremented to 2. So in the second loop, the condition will be checked. The condition is still true. So it will print the count. Count value is now 2. So it will just print 2. And then count value will get incremented to 3. And then it will check the condition. The condition is still true. So it will print the count. The count will be 3. And then it will do this execution where the count will become 4. Still the condition is true. So it will print the count, which is 4 now. And then again, the count will be incremented to 1 more. So it will be 5. The condition will be checked. It is less than or equal to 5. Since equal to is that, still the condition is true. The count value will be incremented, displayed, and then the count value will be incremented to 6. And this in this state, that this count value is 6, the condition is false. When this condition is false, it will break the loop. It will not execute the statement. That is the end of the loop. When there is end of loop, then the next statement will get executed. What is the next statement? Document.write, you have printed 5 numbers. So this will get printed at the end of the execution. So this is how the iteration, the looping statement works. Okay, and until the condition is met, it will keep on doing executing the same set of statements, but that should be the counter. If there is no counter value, then it will become infinite loop because the condition will be always true. Okay, now let's see, give one more condition. So here the count value is 10, and this time we are doing decrementation. Okay, so let's execute this in JavaScript console. So here the same thing, count is 10, and then value check should be greater than 0. Okay, until it is greater than 0, it will print the count. The count value is 10, the count value will be decremented to 9. So like I explained before, every time the condition will be checked and the value will be printed. When the condition becomes 0, the count value becomes 0, the condition will be false. So it will stop executing it after 1. Okay, and then it will just see we have list of whatever is there after the execution of the loop, that will get executed. So this is how the looping statement, any kind of looping statement works. So we'll give you one more example. You can see the counter could be anything. So I showed the example of incrementation, decrementation. Now I'll show you some multiplication operation with the counting change. So here the count value is 1, and the condition is less than or equal to 100, and then it will print the count value. Each time the count value will be multiplied by 2. So it starts with 1, and then 2, 2 into 2, 4, 4 into 2, 8, 8 into 2, 16, 16 into 2, 32, 32 into 2, 64, 64 into 2, 128. In 128, the condition will be false, so it will come out of the loop. So like this, the counter can be anything. So that should change the condition of execution. So as I told you, if you're not giving this condition to change, this condition with the counter which is changing the condition, if you're not giving it, then it will end up in infinite looping. Okay, so the infinite looping is the looping condition where you don't have any incrementation or decrementation or any counter to change the condition. So the condition will be always true. When it is always true, it will get executed repeatedly until your computer dies or it goes out of power. It will get executed repeatedly until you abort that program. For example, here count value is 1, the count is less than or 10 is the condition, and I'm not giving you the closing condition or incrementation or decrementation or anything that changes the condition. That is not given here. So that will end up in infinite loop because this condition is always true, because count is always 1 and it is always less than 10. So that results in infinite looping. So that infinite looping will make it to execute this windows.alert forever. So what is window.alert? Window is the object, .alert is the method of the window object. So this window.alert method, which is the built-in method in JavaScript, which will always give you this pop-up menu. So you might have seen this pop-up menu. You're familiar with this, might be familiar with this before. So this pop-up menu will be created by JavaScript by using this windows.alert method. So that just will give you whatever is given inside that will be displayed as a message. So window.alert is the method that will help you to give this pop-up menu. So this condition is true. So always, no matter how many times you give okay, this will get executed again and again. Okay. So to stop this, you have to close this page and only it will get stopped. So that is called infinite looping problem. So you can use this looping concept in web programming. You can use it with any kind of array element. Wherever you can use array data and all, you can use this. That is series of, wherever you are executing series of elements, there you can use this while loop or any kind of looping statement. You can associate. For example, if you take table has series of elements, list has series of elements. So if you want to execute through those elements iterate through that element, iterate through the table, iterate through the list, then you can use while loop to iterate through it. So the next the kind of looping statement is do while. So in the while statement, first the condition is checked first, and then you are executing. So in do while, first it will execute the statement once, no matter whether the condition is true or false. The statement will be executed one time. After executing it, then the condition will be checked. If the condition is true, then it will be again executing this statement. If the condition is false, then it will stop executing it. So the difference is with while statement, if condition is false, you cannot even execute it for one time. But in do while statement, even if the condition is false, at least you can execute it at least once, even with the condition is even when the condition is strong. Okay. So this is called do while statement. So well, let me explain the while statement and do while statement in an example now. So if I open the JavaScript console, let me execute the while statement. So here you don't see. So you can see I'm executing this while loop. The condition is always false because it is equal to 2, not less than 2. So the condition is always false. So it doesn't print anything, whatever is given inside the statement. But if I execute the same thing by using do while statement, even though the condition is strong, it will execute it at least once. You can see the condition is wrong, but still it will execute document.count is equal to 2. So at least one time this is getting executed. So this is the difference between do while and while. So the syntax is do is the keyword that you will use. Inside the curly brace, you will specify the statement that needs to get executed, and while inside the while keyword, you will specify the condition. Okay, the only difference is while will not execute if the condition is strong, but the do will execute at least once. Okay, again, like while and do while also, you can just execute it with any kind of series of statements that you can use. It could be array, it could be table or list. Okay, wherever you can execute series of statements, you can use the do while. The next kind of looping statement that we are going to see is for loop. For loop is a very popular looping statement. Mostly used looping statement, more than the while and do while. For looping is used because of its efficiency and the easiness. Okay, so because you can put together everything inside one single statement in for. That is the condition, the initialization condition, the incrementation or decrementation. Everything can be put together in one single statement, so that it will reduce the coding, because you can just, instead of 4 or 5 lines, you can specify the coding in 2 or 3 lines. It will reduce the number of lines in the coding. It's a most efficient looping statement. So we did this array concept before, right? So let's deal with this looping. I'll explain this example with array. So let's go back and pick that brightest star array thing. We are going to execute this array using for loop. We are going to go through this for array by using the for loop. So I have the brightest stars. So by the syntax for the for loop is you will use the for keyword, initialize it, semicolon, and then here you will specify the condition, and here you will specify the incrementation or decrementation by any count change. Okay, so the condition that will change, that will be given here. The condition will be given in the second element, and the first element will be initialization. So if I can process this array by using this loop and specifying count equal to 1, the count value is less than or equal to less than brightest stars dot length. What is the brightest stars? This, it has the length as 5. We have already seen that. So when it simply means that count is less than 5, increment the count value and just print the count value. You can see since it is less than 5, it will print 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you want to, instead of printing the count, if you want to print the star name itself, let's try that. So instead of printing the count, if I want to print the star name, simply I have to say brightest stars of a count. So in each loop, when the count 0 is 0, it will pick Sirius. When it is 1, it will pick Hanapus. When it is 2, it will pick Arcturus. And when it is 4, it will pick Rizal. The 5 will not get executed because the condition will become false. So it will just print the values until Regal. 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, here the length is, it starts from 0. So it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 means a Vega. So it can print all the given star elements in the array. So this is how you can iterate through the for loop. This is how you can combine the array concept with the for loop concept, or any looping concept you can try along with the array like this. So each time it gets iterated and the condition is true, it will print out all this value because you have given that inside the statement, for statement. So that is about for looping. And continue. One more thing you have to be familiar with that. There is a keyword called continue keyword, which will skip the particular condition, particular looping condition. For example, if you look at this, when the count become 3, don't print the count 3 here. Just skip it. If you want to skip a particular counting, then you can use the keyword continue. So instead of printing 3, it will just print 1, 2 and skip it, and then it will print 4, 5. So if we execute this, you can see it print 1, 2, 3 will be skipped, and 4, 5. So this is possible because of this continue statement. Continue statement is the keyword that will help you to skip a particular iteration. Okay, here you're skipping the iteration 3 by specifying this condition. So here you're using the branching and then looping concept. We'll see what is branching in the next video. Okay, so the next video we are going to learn about branching. See you in the next video. Thank you.